Dang.
Oh, I thought you were gonna do it again.
No, I was waiting for you
Okay.
to do a fucking intro, asshole.
Well, we finally made it to another Metroid game. I didn't think this would happen, but hey, I had a sudden urge to record this, and record it I did. This is Metroid II: The Return of Samus, released on the Game Boy. Just the Game Boy. I almost said Advance. Ugh.
Oh, you can
In
play it on the Game Boy Advance.
copyright 1991 Nintendo. I hope it was the year 1991, so I look smart.
It, I assume it would be 1991, if that's the
I don't know.
copyright year on the
I don't
game.
fucking know how that works.
So why aren't you pressing start?
Because we're listening to the music. All of the menu.
This is
It's great.
riveting.
Yes, very riveting. If any keen-eyed viewers, if you have eyes, will notice on the top left, we have a big-ass map. I will be zooming into different sections of this map. To kind of show where I am throughout the game. It was definitely something I noticed in the Metroid NES commentary that, well, you know, during recording, I knew where I was going. I followed a guide. But outside of that, no. No one knows where I'm going. You can't tell where you're going, unless you just have perfect memory and are paying attention the whole time, which none of us were. This will help just give us a rough idea of where we're at. And, yeah. I don't have it too fancy. I don't have it highlighted exactly where we are. I just have the area showing on the map just to give you a general idea of how big the layout is or what we could expect. This is not the map I used for this guide. I just followed like one of those pixel perfect maps. I have not finished recording this at the time of our commentary, so I don't know how many parts it's going to be.
It's only one
yeah.
currently.
Yes, there's only a single part as of this recording.
So whether or not we finish the game, I guess is still up in the air.
No, we'll finish it. We'll finish it.
We better.
There's only one time I quit a game, and I think that was a valid reason.
Okay, well, there's also been a time where you took a break from a game and haven't got back to it yet. So it's effectively dead.
I don't know what you're referring to. You know, a year in the future, all games have been resolved or are currently being resolved. I don't know what you're talking about. Anyways,
I think
there's the first zoom in, by the way. This will just cover the surface area as well as just the rest of area 1, which is pretty short. So this game makes a lot of departures already from the original game. Like, it is a really impressive game for a Game Boy game. But it being a Game Boy game, it made in 1991, is a huge reason on why I don't like it. This is a really impressive game. It's like Zelda 1 for me. It's really impressive. I respect the hell out of it. Man, do I hate playing it. I think this is a bit better than Zelda 1 because I can get through it. But...
well, you can get through it because this game is a hell of a lot more linear.
Yes, there is no
Metroid
backtracking in this game required unless you're going for recharge stations. Because the bottom areas are empty. And yes, like the NES original, go left. But a little more sinisterly, there's not a power-up waiting for us here. I guess we should delve into the story. So after Metroid 1, Samus beat the Space Pirates, beat Mother Brain, but the threat of the Metroids isn't over. The Federation, they want to make sure there's no more Metroids. So they send some soldiers and researchers to SR-388 to study the Metroids and help exterminate them.
Uh-huh.
So that didn't go well. So now we're the cleanup crew.
Because
so
of course
genocide, we are. This is genocide the game.
This is the definition of genocide has a picture of Metroid 2 by it. But yeah, yes. Like you get some of that story stuff in the manual for this game, but it really doesn't get fleshed out until like Fusion, where you get to see like an actual cutscene on SR-388 of like the post mission or whatever, and like then you have AM2R and Samus Returns, which further flesh out the story in the world of this. But you know, for a Game Boy game, I'll cut it some slack for not, you know, being able to show a lot for its story, because it is kind of just
it shows more than you think, but we'll kind of get into that the deeper we go, I think.
Well, my argument is it doesn't show enough. Because I have played a solid 4-ish hours of this.
What this game's strengths are is how I think it handles enemies. Specifically, I guess we'll just get into it now because we're gonna get bored by the end of this. I can already tell.
True.
But the game kind of, because it's linear, it knows where you're going to be, and it kind of does a bit of storytelling. You don't have to unlock the Morphball in this game, which is pretty cool.
Nice.
Oh, I should also add, I am recording this off of a legit cartridge on an analog pocket. However, the cartridge battery apparently is dead, so I can't actually save. So I will be doing all of this with save states, which the analog pocket allows for.
I want a fucking analog pocket so bad.
Get one. Anyways, the enemies of this game. At the surface, it is very much teeming with life. There are enemies everywhere. They're a constant hazard. But the lower and lower you get, you're going to start seeing less and less enemies, and especially less variety of enemies, to a point where it's only you and the Metroids. Because the deeper you go, you know, due to like the acid that's blocking the Metroids and the Metroids themselves, everything's just dead. And that's a really cool aspect. Welcome to Area 2.
Very creative names this game has.
Yeah. I have no idea where the area names came from. I'm going to assume the manual. I'm going to assume the game comes with a map. That's not useful. Because, yeah, AM2R calls it all the area names properly. Samus, Return of Samus. Or, yeah, Samus Returns. Fuck.
Return of Samus is the subtitle for this.
I realized it. Shut up. Oh, yeah. Her low health, Samus's low health alarm in this game is obnoxious.
I think the shooting sounds pretty obnoxious as well.
Most sounds are in this game. Unless you're at the top, at the surface, where you get that theme, there's not much reason to keep your sound on. Like, look up the areas with good, or every time you enter an area, you know, turn on the speaker, listen to music for a bit. If you like it, keep it on. If not, turn it off. You're better off for it. We're stuck here listening to everything, so.
If we want to look at the Game Boy as sort of a portable NES, like, you compare, like the original Super Mario Brothers to Super Mario Land as a first example, and Super Mario Land kind of looks like shit. But I would say this game looks a fair bit better than Metroid, the original Metroid.
Yes, there are way more sprites.
Everything is massive because of that, but, you know.
I think the game's better for that. I don't think the screen crunch in this game is really a bad thing for how explorative it is.
It's not a problem at all because anything off-screen doesn't exist unless it's a boss. So
that's actually a really easy way to help with bosses. If they're like cornering you a ton, just off-screen it for a bit, get your bearings.
Oh, so not even the bosses exist.
And if they're half on screen, they won't move, and you can kind of still hit them. So like you can jump, fire a missile, get that little bit extra on screen, and that missile will hurt them.
Well, that's cool.
And then you can just get back off screen again. It's kind of a strategy you can use if you want.
That's fun.
This is the music that makes everyone turn off the music in this game.
I didn't
if
turn
you could
off
hear
the
it
music.
over the low health.
I didn't turn it off for this area. And I didn't play the whole game because I couldn't be fucked. But
in my playthrough on my DS, the first time I played this, I think I got to like the Omega Metroids. And they're so tanky, and I was just not having fun. But I played it all without a guide, so I guess that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I was playing this without a guide on my 3DS. And you know what? I was enjoying myself. But I
In the
got
first couple areas.
yeah, I got somewhere where I just could not figure out where I needed to go, and I gave up.
Mm-hmm. You're gonna see lots of pauses.
That's fine.
That is 100% me looking at the map and/or doing save states.
Energy tank.
I will cut out any visible sign of save states, I believe. But you're gonna see me pause.
That's fine.
Yeah, this game kind of has a lot of similar ideas to the first one. Memorize where energy tanks are for replays and make use of them so you don't have to grind for health. However, in lower areas, because of how many missiles it's going to take to kill Metroids, you're probably going to have to do some backtracking, which can take up to 15 minutes sometimes to get to previous energy and missile refills.
Man.
Which is unfortunate. The ice beam is probably, if you don't want to have to do backtracking later because you need the ice beam to beat the game, try to stay with this. I don't think any beam type is going to affect bosses, so you're still only using missiles for that. So like, unless you really need the other beams to help with other enemies, which you shouldn't, just try to use the ice beam. You don't really have to kill anything. You can just, shoot them, freeze them, and move on. Or freeze projectiles. It is the ice beam. There's just not really anything in the game that needs the ice beam to be utilized,
Yeah.
Just a helpful tip I noticed while playing.
This vertical shaft that you were just did, by the way, pissed me the fuck off when I played. I thought it was like infinitely looping vertically. I was like, what is happening?
Yeah, it is still samey.
Yeah. Like this game does a lot. Like it has a more varied environments than the first game by far. But man, within individual areas, there's a lot of like repeated design and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
I like how the spider ball is just fucking there.
I mean, it is a unique area to find it in, and it's very clearly built that you can only get out with the spider ball, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, well, I think it's implied that, like, the Metroid had fucked shit up or something in here. Because, like, up above, this is, like, there's kind of, like, a pedestal there. Like, maybe there could have been a power-up on top of it at some point. So there's, like, small things you can glean like that from the art of this game, if you're thinking about it.
What you can't glean is what these locations actually are. And they are all defined areas. Parts of SR3D88. But I have no idea what they're supposed to be in the context of the original. Because they do not look like what they say they are. Yeah, off-screen Metroids, it's really useful.
Shoot them. Shoot it!
Come on. There we go.
Yeah, I think
Alpha Metroids aren't too bad. Only take a few missiles.
I think having the Metroids above you is like a very nice strategy as well.
I do like the spider ball, but some of its utilization is pretty annoying until there are some areas that you're just better off getting to once you have the space jump, which makes its first appearance here. But yeah, the spider ball is also just really slow. A lot of people will complain about the controls for it. They're not bad. They're pretty quick and simple to get used to, I think.
The spider ball people can complain about?
The controls, yeah.
Why?
Because sometimes it doesn't like to always work. You have to fiddle with it a bit. But like once it starts moving, you don't have to change directions. You just keep holding that one direction the whole time.
Yeah, I never had a problem with it. I guess because I play Sonic games. Ah, you bitch.
Save state.
Okay, I was about to say, what the fuck was that?
Well, it's either a save state or me looking at the map. It's one of the two, okay? Every pause is going to be like that.
What do you think of Samus's sprite in this? A lot of people make fun of it for the chicken walk arms.
I mean,
I kind of like it though.
To me, it's like it's as iconic to me now at this point as the Belmont strut. So
yeah,
I put a lot of time into Metroid II. Never beaten it before, but I put a lot of time in. Because my first Nintendo console I had in a really long time was a 2DS, and all I had access to was Metroid NES and Metroid 2. And Metroid 2 is a hell of a lot more appealing than Metroid NES, let me tell you.
Yeah.
Once again, really impressive Game Boy game, but man, I don't want to play it.
Like, what was I gonna say? The I would say up through Super Metroid, each Metroid game was a significant step up from the last. And it wasn't really until Fusion where we kind of maybe got like a side grade of a game, just because Super Metroid was that good. But Fusion is also that good, you know. So it is interesting to see.
I don't think they knew what to do with all the missile placements in this, because sometimes
they're just there.
There's multiple in the same room. Sometimes up to 3 all at once. It's great. They knew you needed a ton, but didn't have places marked out for it all, which also makes the game feel really empty, because like you get the spider ball to explore the tops of caverns, and for the most part there is nothing up there. There's no reason to, other than the occasional goodie. The Nintendo remake also has this issue, but it is helped by that game being really gorgeous, so I feel like I also just want to explore to look at it all.
That game made it even more of a problem, though, because you only get 3 fucking missiles per upgrade in that. Which is strange.
Yeah, and despite the ice beam, you still can't use it to damage Metroids.
Yeah. And, you know, since that game uses every button on the 3DS, you have to map some of the stuff to the touchscreen, and it's a little painful. But, you know. So how much are you getting everything?
I won't guarantee it until I'm, nearing completion, but I'm going to try to.
Okay.
I think okay, this is like the game where resources are going to be the most important, because I don't want to have to make so many treks to the top. I want to have lots of resources. So I will try. But yeah. The name of the game is Kill the Metroids, and that's all you're doing.
God, I can't wait for Super Metroid.
Yes, it's such a better game.
It's like I like to throw around the saying, the 2D Metroid series has no, or is all like S tier games, but really these two are not. Maybe for their time. But
I have to say, this game has plenty of defenders and plenty of people who
it's just not
what it
for
is.
Me, you know.
Pretty much.
Like nothing. Pretty much for me, nothing really gets better than Super Metroid and Dread, and Fusion is like right there with them. So and then you have, for me, Zero Mission and Samus Returns, the remakes of the first 2 games. They're also fucking amazing. So that's the real reason I say that, because you can play the 5 Metroid games, and like if you play the remakes instead of the originals, you get like nothing but peak. But like I've talked also in the past that I don't like when remakes effectively replace the originals. And you know what? I don't think the remakes really do.
No, they just give you an idea. They're mainly there for story, which I like.
Yeah.
You have a way to experience the story, but this game and the original is also really accessible.
Yeah. And as a Metroid enjoyer, I should play through both of these at some point in my life. But
no, that's how I begin to hate franchises. You don't have to.
Well, this is only 2 games.
So?
And they're 2 small games. Like astronomically small.
I say that all you want.
I don't care if I have to use a guide. I will play through these games.
All I can say is I don't recommend it.
Too bad. It's Metroid. I love Metroid.
Oh yeah, I bet you didn't find this. Whee!
Oh no, I remember crawling around this fucking room for ages because I fucking saw this glowing thing. I was like, how do I get there? I want it. So I did
Good
find
old
it.
health refill.
Yeah, the tile conveyance is also really horrible. Oh, double paused.
Yeah, that's gonna happen a lot. Just be ready. Unfortunately, this game suffers from the same problem that the original NES game does, where missiles, unless you're fighting bosses and opening a specific door, are never going to be used. And a lot of people don't even use it in Super Metroid and later games, but like, at least you can. They are viable. In these games, if you're using them, you are actually just wasting ammo you need for bosses, and it's going to take you longer. It's never a good thing to do.
Yeah,
Super
but
Metroid, though,
missile go boom. Missile satisfying.
So anyways, they're mainly useful in Super Metroid onwards, as I was saying.
They should make another Metroid 2 remake, but do it in the form of a Resident Evil style survival horror game.
Other M kind of tries to do that at times.
Yeah, but no.
Like, those scripted sequences where Samus just walks around and you have tank controls. Like, if they actually added gameplay to that, this could be it.
Yeah.
But nothing ever happens in them. It's really funny.
Dude, I'm now imagining like 3D reimaginings of the 2D Metroid series and with like a more survival horror bend, and oh my god, that would be so cool.
Metroid Prime should have a survival horror spinoff.
And it should be 2D.
Yes, it's just Sweet Home, the game that inspired Resident Evil. So it's a turn-based RPG.
Metroid Tactics.
Dude, if they made a turn-based Metroid game, I'd play it. I don't know how I feel about it, but I'd play it for sure.
What if Metroid 6 is a strategy game, like a strategy RPG? I would kill myself, I think. Holy shit, these guys are everywhere. I forgot that they were just fucking
there's
everywhere.
Like 4 or 5 on this floor alone. But we still have over 30 to go. So, yeah.
This game also, hooray! I know we're not going to get to it for a while, but this game does make a really good use of the HUD as well for the storytelling. Because at some point, you'll just see like the number increase a whole bunch. And it's because like the queen like laid another batch of them or whatever, and you get to fight the regular iconic Metroids that everyone knows.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see how it lines up. I'm hoping to do one area per part. Maybe a little quicker, maybe a couple areas, but we'll see how it goes. Okay. Because that'll take a while.
Well, technically, you've done 2 in
10
this
areas.
part.
This could be a 10-part series for a Game Boy game. That isn't Pokemon. How does that make you feel?
This game is too big for its own good, but not big enough as well. That is my opinion of Metroid II: Return of Samus.
Yeah, the sprites are too big. The game world itself isn't big enough.
I will say I love the like filters you can have on the analog pocket.
I really like this one.
Yeah,
I may try to experiment with other ones. I'll see how they look for a later part, since I can record it, since I'm recording it as I go.
Yeah.
But I honestly just really like this one.
Yeah,
that classic feel.
This just looks so nice. It's so satisfying to my eyeballs.
Yeah, it's the closest experience you'll get to playing off a Game Boy, but with backlighting. It's great.
God, I need an analog pocket. Just for the Sonic Advance games. Because those are...
It makes Chaos Emeralds collecting really nice when you have a save state.
Just
don't save state and then save over your save file or you're fucked.
Yeah. I like, specifically for the Advance games, I hate... Or, well, a lot of Game Boy games, actually. Game Boy Advance games, specifically. I hate playing those emulated on like my monitor because it's just too blown out, too big on my screen. It hurts my eyes.
I've never had that problem because I play them all on the dock, so on a massive TV.
It hurts my eyes, man. The fucking shield in Sonic Advance
Because I've
hurts my
heard,
eyes.
like I've heard similar complaints about like the the Zero and ZX collection. And I just don't see it.
I don't know what it is, man. It's like it's specifically shit like the shield in Sonic Advance or the after images.
Again, that shield looks bad, but like it doesn't kill the game for me.
It hurts my eyes when I play it on my computer. That's all I can tell you.
So I should stream it.
Oh, part just
And
fucking
make you watch the whole
ended.
thing. Because I transitioned to the next area.
Okay, yeah. I didn't realize that. That was funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, God. We're doing this for Super Metroid. We're doing this for Super Metroid. Oh.
We'll see y'all next time.